Welcome to Midway Minute, everybody. My name is Scott Coral. He is Kevin Kadick. And hit the subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube. That way you get to see us whenever we produce content. And then head to the website, midwayminute.win, for everything Chicago sports. Sign up for the newsletter and become one of our super friends. Kevin, the day is here. The PlayStation 5 has come out. No, that is not really the day that I need to be talking about. Because all things Chicago sports, Matt Nagy has finally given up play calling duties. So let me give you some stats before we even get into why this was such a good move. So in 42 games of Nagy being the play caller, the offense failed to score 20 points 25 times. They failed to score a first half touchdown 19 times and failed to top 300 yards 19 times. So praise Jesus. And I'm not a religious guy, but praise Jesus. Matt Nagy has finally given it up to Bill Lazor.
So basically what you're saying is that Matt Nagy is the PlayStation 5 of coaches. You thought you were going to get it, but you got nothing. You came up empty-handed. That's what you're telling me, Scott. So
actually, you are correct.
Yeah. So obviously this is something we've been waiting for a while. I think like the drumbeat has kind of really happened over these last 5 to 6 weeks and maybe even stretching into last season. That's been a criticism. So it's here. Bill Lazor's going to get the call on Monday night against the Vikings. My question to you, though, is, he's only got so many ingredients, and he's going to go into this game possibly. A lot of people are banged up. David Montgomery still in the concussion protocol, which means he could have Cordarrelle Patterson as a starting running back. That offensive line is still a wreck. Nick Foles is still the quarterback, although he obviously has a lot of familiarity with making Nick Foles work and be productive. But is this going to change anything? I don't know.
And I think that's the question that a lot of people are going to ask is, will Bill Lazor be the guy that makes this offense tick? Well, he's had 2 other stints as being offensive coordinator. One was with Miami and Ryan Tannehill, and he got fired after 3 months. And then he was Andy Dalton's offensive coordinator in 2017 and I believe parts of 2018, and made Andy Dalton into he was fairly decent, but nothing earth-shattering. So I don't know if this is going to change anything with Nick Foles and really the Bears offense. And again, as you mentioned, with everybody being as banged up as they are, I mean, when your best pass blocker to date is Tariq Cohen, there's a problem.
I miss Tariq Cohen. I really do. So here's the other thing, though. Obviously, we're going into this game against Kirk Cousins, who is 0 for 9 on Monday Night Football. So if you want to take a lot of optimism into this game, that's where you have it. The last time the Vikings were in here was basically the last time we really felt good about the Bears. I think week 4, week 5 of last season, they shut them down pretty well, even though the final score I think was only 16-6. But yeah, so both teams obviously have some problems. Vikings obviously have to feel good about Dalvin Cook. So how do you feel kind of going into this game?
Dalvin Cook has the most scrimmage yards after contact, 602, than any other running back not named Derrick Henry. He's also had 478 rushing yards the last 2 weeks and 6 TDs, earning back-to-back FedEx Offensive Player of the Week awards.
Yep.
So if you're Minnesota, you really do want to take a lot of stock in Dalvin Cook. The problem with that, the chef, as Dalvin Cook is so aptly named, not so good in Chicago. The guy's only got 34 rushes for 86 yards and 1 score and 54 yards on 13 receptions against the Bears. So is that the guy that the Bears really need to worry about? I don't think so. I think you still got to worry about Kirk Cousins and tossing the ball around to Irv Smith and Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen.
Right.
It's going to be an interesting game to see if the Bears can get any kind of pressure to make Kirk Cousins Monday night Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. So here in Chicago, I feel like we look at running backs like Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook. It's like, oh, we would love to have that guy as part of the Chicago tradition, but they've done a good job of stopping them. So I do agree with you there. However, I disagree with you there and disagree with you being afraid about Kirk Cousins. I mean, until he proves it, I know he's got some different weapons and he can kind of get it around to them. Irv Smith makes me feel old because I remember watching his dad at Notre Dame, and that doesn't seem like that long ago. But Adam Thielen is a weapon, but Diggs is no longer on the team. I actually feel sort of okay. I can't say pretty good going into this game, but I do think that the Bears are somehow going to pull this off. They need to pull this off. They lose this game, they draw even at 5-5. And it's obviously a division game. They need that. The Vikings are riding high. They just beat the Packers and the Lions. But Kirk Cousins on Monday Night Football, I think that runs to 110. And I think the Bears do squeak this one out 20-14.
I have to disagree. And I think this is the week that Kirk Cousins gets his first Monday night victory. I have it Vikings 24, Bears 23. And here's the thing. And I think that this is where the Bears defense is going to be really just fine. I think the offense is still going to struggle. And the Vikings are 4-16 against the Bears in Soldier Field since the year 2000. And in 3 of those 4 victories for the Vikings, they were pulled out with a field goal, all with under 12 seconds left. And I think that's going to happen here. So 24-23 Vikings, and I think it's going to be time for the Bears to go into the bye and take a real good, hard look at themselves.
Yeah, well, if that happens, it's going to be panic in the streets of Chicago. I do feel good that you're picking against the Bears. That's actually probably worked out pretty well for the Bears so far this season. So that's good. But yeah, it should be interesting. I don't know if it's going to be a great game. I don't know if the national audience is going to tune into it, but we obviously will. There's a lot riding on it for the 2020 Bears and going forward. So to check it out and check out all the post game, subscribe here on YouTube or subscribe to MidwayMinute.win, the Chicago sports newsletter you get in your inbox every morning. Thank you, Scott, and thank you to everyone else. We will see you next time.